Hi. Can you, are you comfortable telling us your name?
Ashley,
Ashley. So you've been homeless in Tacoma for how long now?
about 3 years.
3 years. How did you end up becoming homeless?
Totally unexpectedly. I was married, a stay-at-home mom, and my marriage ended abruptly, and then everything else um, kind of fell apart quickly thereafter, despite my family's help financially. I had no income of my own, and my husband left me with pretty much nothing except for the bills to pay, and eventually I relapsed. Um, and I lost everything.
Hmm. Can you tell us what's uh, what's it like being homeless? What's the normal day like?
Right now, cold. I feel like I can never actually get totally warm. Um, it's exhausting. Sometimes I go several days and nights without sleep, whether or not I want to. Um, I feel unsafe a lot. Not having a door to lock at night for my belongings or myself makes me feel unsafe.
What kind of stuff are women in particular vulnerable to?
Anything that you would expect a woman to be vulnerable to, like if you have any type of drug habit, the predators out here will hone in on that and try to lure you with um, whatever the drug of your choice is, and whether or not they may have it or whether or not they may get you high and tell you there's no strings attached, there's always something underlying that they're going to try to use against you or hold you accountable for in the end. And so personally, I stopped taking up offers on for that a long time ago myself, but I know a lot of females that are constantly caught up in that situation and crying about later on about how so and so, did this to them, and they said it would be this way, but it turned out that way, and it can get really dangerous really fast, unexpectedly, if you don't just have some self control and say no from the beginning.
You can't trust anybody,
Not really.
huh? So there are, I understand from talking to you and some other folks, there's not as many services for homeless women as there is men, huh?
Mm-mm. Um, there's a shelter that houses men and women, but only so many beds for women, and I think there's less beds for women than there are for men in that shelter anyway. Um, any of the services that the men's shelter offers are for the men only, pretty much exclusively, like laundry, daytime sitting inside, computer access, internet access, telephone access, um, elect- a place to charge your cell phone, using the outlets, just little things like that you don't have access to if you're a woman at the men's shelter.
So, from, based on what you were telling me earlier, there's one place around that women can stay at night.
One that I know of, yeah.
Yeah.
One as far as I know at all.
And no place for laundry or a place to just be able to sit and be all day.
There is the Nativity House, but um, it's really not how it used to be before they uh, redid the whole program and the whole place. I mean, now it's really a tightly ran ship that has really just a basic structure, and that's the way it is. And it reminds me of the cafeteria in my elementary school, the way that it's set up on the inside and the way that it's ran, even down to the bathroom access and everything. So, and then other than that place, I don't know of any other place where especially women are welcome, but just anybody in general, all day, in and out as you please, especially those places you're not allowed to leave and come back within a certain period of time. Some of them, if you check in, they accept it every now and then, but you know, you just can't come and go freely, especially if you're staying there at night. You have to check in at a certain time and check out at a certain time and be there every night. And
If you're not, they don't take you back.
they do, but they essentially lose your, from what I understand, you lose your place, you know, on the list. So say you had a bed, if the list is 18 people long and there's only 14 beds, now you're number 18, so the next person on the list gets your bed, and you have to wait it out so many days until so many people don't check in or get in trouble, and then eventually you'll get bumped back up to
Gotcha.
getting your bed back.
And you don't tend to stay any place overnight. You stay outside, right?
Yeah, I do. I've never stayed in a shelter. The one time that I was going to stay at that shelter that I've been speaking of, it was snowing out and it was emergency weather, and on the news they said that that shelter specifically and all the shelters in the area were allowing anybody to stay whether or not they had room for them or not because of the emergent weather. And my ex-boyfriend and I went there in the middle of the night because of this. We walked so far in the snow in shoes that were not fit for the snow, and we were so cold, and we got there and they wouldn't let us in, and they wouldn't let us stay, and they wouldn't let us come in and get dry or get warm or anything. So I never went back.
What what do homeless folks in Tacoma need? What could, churches and other organizations, if they got together, what should they provide? What should we do for you?
Some place to be able to do laundry would be wonderful. Some place to have access to clothing, household items, blankets, even over-the-counter medicine, things like that, toiletries, to just be able to come in and maybe not have free reign over what you take and what you choose, but if you need certain things, you're allowed a limit of so many certain things if they're available, every month or every week or every visit or whatever. That would be really nice, because those things are hard to acquire unless you're stealing them, especially if you don't have any kind of guaranteed income at all.
Okay. All right. Any final thoughts or comments for folks?
No, I just appreciate any outreaching that's done for us and any help that's provided. We really need it.
Okay. Thanks, Ashley.
You're welcome. Thank you.